Greetings interwebs, this is Jacket K, and welcome for another edition of Pokémon XG Next Gen. Last time in our adventures... That's right, we cleared out all the Shadow Pokémon, specifically in town here. And if I recall the email correctly, that just leaves one more place. Gaton Port. Well, I'm not quite sure if I'm 110% up to vibes with a recording session today. Well, it's a good thing I talked to you, madame, because I completely forgot about you. I don't think I've ever fought you before in this playthrough. Maybe never in Pokemon XD in general. And knowing how they like to stuff Shadow Pokemon into everyone in this post-game, she probably ends up having a Shadow Pokemon that I would have missed otherwise. But yeah, it's been a weird day for me. I did go off for my usual morning walk, but I must have gotten a later start than I started because it feels like ever since I got back, I haven't gotten anything. I have not taken any time to relax or get anything of note done. Like, the one thing I can recount? What am I thinking? Why didn't I, do the Dark Pulse against the Psychic Water type? I guess... And right. I guess it is part fairy in this game in particular. If you don't pay attention to YouTube Shorts, hopefully it's been an ongoing series for a while by the time you're seeing this, but as I'm recording this particular video, just the other day I've been doing a little thing with YouTube Shorts where every Tuesday I make a little 1 to 3 minute vlog on anything relating to game design that I did for that particular weekend. So I think it's safe to say Altaria walls all Flamechomp's options, and it's not like I can do much else against Mayolik. Mayolik would actually be more of a threat to Chomp than anything, so why not get it out of there? I'm kind of surprised I haven't gotten hit by some fairy or water type shenanigans yet. But yeah, kind of hoping that pans out. I'm kind of conflicted of if I should have started it on this channel or just started up a new YouTube channel, because I have been on the fence about making a YouTube channel specifically for game design related discussion. Not like anything useful, but talking about my own personal progress relating to game design, maybe an editorial or two every now and then of what I've done for big chunks of projects. Wow. Already taking that much damage. Them's the breaks, I guess. But yeah, but I'm kind of conflicted about how I am about YouTube channel. It's not my job, so at least I don't have to worry about pretty much sabotaging myself with the way YouTube responds to content if people don't watch it or not. But I still find myself conflicted if it was the right choice to start that short series here rather than on its own channel, especially considering I was been pondering making a channel specific to my game design stuff for a while now. And I'll probably go back and forth on that for a while still. The problem is, if it does bad on this channel and no one wants to watch it, then that's on me. Oh hey, kind of funny, I was just looking at the Shadow Latios earlier on. I guess this is where his counterpart was hiding all this time. Shoot, I just barely missed cutting out the Shadow Sky. Maybe I'll come back to pondering all of that. I could multitask a little. All I really wanted to say was, I'm kind of conflicted of if I want that to do well or not, because if it doesn't do well, then that might be enough inspiration to make a separate channel for it. So, the fact that you guys who are only here for my gameplay videos don't get distracted, or, I'm speculating a bit about exactly how YouTube handles YouTube videos. But based on my understanding, I think a hyper voice won't be too bad. But yeah, part of the reason of making a separate channel for that stuff is because if I was doing YouTube for a job, then I would want to keep those separated, because the types of people that would watch game development related stuff are probably not the same people, I should say, that are gonna watch playthrough videos of me just playing for video games and talking about whatever shenanigans come to mind. And I do kind of ponder from time to time if that's gonna hurt the video's ability to be found, because I just heard some random stuff now and then down the grapevine with fellow creators that if one video doesn't do well, that YouTube intentionally goes out of its way to share that video with less, or share the following videos that you upload with less people. So like, this main channel is kind of already doomed if that's the case, because I am kind of divided between so many different games just within the game playstyle commentary I do. By the way, great time to get knocked out, exactly what I need to get a legendary Pokemon back asleep. This won't be too hard, and like, it's not like we have another endgame dungeon to go to or anything. I don't know why I'm being so stingy about my revives. The point being, I feel like I want to explore more with game design and bring it to YouTube, because it's what I want to spend more of my spare time on anyways. So if I'm going to keep up with YouTube, it feels only right to share that aspect on the internet a bit. I feel like it'd be interesting for some people. Probably just not the same people that would be watching something like this. And then I get caught up in talking about the algorithm. And that's why I've been debating making a second channel for specifically any game design stuff I want to talk about. So the people who only want to hear about that have a place to go, and the people who only want to see me play about video games have their own place to go. And no one has to feel bad about not watching everything. Also, I just revived you, and you've already fainted again. Maybe I should focus on catching this Latias before continuing on with all that. The downside about making a second channel, though, is that's a lot to manage. Like, I already started up a channel to slowly re-upload Twitch VODs ever since they reinforced the statement of you're only allowed to have 100 hours of highlight footage on your channel. And I've already fallen off on that. Like, I had things scheduled for a while, but I'm pretty sure that backlogs ran out at this point, and I have not had the time to schedule anything else to upload. It doesn't help that like a big thing that I want to upload on that VOD channel is specifically my old Pikmin 3 playthrough, but I kinda like canceled that right before uploading it because I noticed like, well, I was already aware that it was a big mess in of itself, but in addition, like, there was background noise with the little reviewing that I did. Some of that background noise being things I don't need to have up on the internet anymore. So now that before I upload any of that, I have to actually sit down and watch all that VOD footage and edit it. And that's a mess of in of itself, and I haven't really been too encouraged to dig through my hard drive of things I downloaded from the Twitch backlog that needs to go up on that VOD channel to find any alternative to upload in the meantime. Alright. Kind of all over the place there, but really feel like I can afford to take a little bit of time to focus on getting this stupid Latias asleep. Not gonna lie, I think it's actually to my... I actually want to kind of generate the faint there so I could just get funneling back in here easily. So... I'm not sure what I can really do about that. Guess it doesn't hurt to throw another Ultra Ball. Why not? And how are we already at 15 minutes? I've only just started catching Shadow Pokemon. Whatever. 1, a 2, a 3. Ah. So close, I thought I might have just jinxed not having to worry about that anymore. Now, are you gonna count? Okay. Not bad. Works in my favor because now with Funland being full on HP, I can at least get you out here and actually get this thing back to sleep so I can chuck Pokeballs at it and have it actually mean something. Not that that's going to stop me from chucking some Pokeballs now. Not even close. Well, that works too, I guess. Alright. At least now, this should be easy to catch. I think with Funland out here, I might even be able to like chip its health down a little, because surely a Drain Punch won't knock it out. This feels pretty long-winded for a simple trainer battle, so I think a Timer Ball might do the trick. If not, hopefully the little bit of chip damage we do will be enough to actually get this thing in a ball for once. A 1, a 2, a 3. I guess it just needs to hit snooze on the alarm. Well, that doesn't make too much sense now I think more about that metaphor. In order for that to make sense, you have to be asleep already. Oh well. Alright. Let's go find the other Gaton Poor Trainers after I take care of the Poison Heal. I guess I can take a look at what else we got, or what else this Latias has. Shadow Soul, Sky, Slayer. I guess we did see all of it in battle. Actually don't have a slot for this. We've been staking so many Psychic types that I think we've ran out of places to put Psychic types in. I don't really feel like messing around with these slots just to try to come up with something more efficient with one single Pokemon. What are Wobbuffet's Shadow moves anyways? Chant, Sickness, Terrain, Sky. I guess in character of not really having any moves that directly attack the opponent. Oh shoot! No wonder I had to readjust my window. It's been so long. I'm so off today. I forgot that I don't normally record in full screen and instead record in a small window. But today I'm recording in full screen. And I'm already in the middle of a recording session, so I can't undo that without pretty much redoing my entire capture setup. Which I guess if it works is fine. Like, it's nice to be able to see the entire game on an entire monitor for once. But there's a reason I do it this way normally. Or do it the other way normally. Like, it makes it easier to keep track of if everything's recording and functioning like it's supposed to. Well, no point dwelling on it, I guess. Pretty sure there's at least one more trainer here that has a Shadow Pokemon for us. But it's been a long time since they've actually bothered to talk to people in town. So your guess is as good as mine. There were some NPCs here that I remember being fightable, but we got their Shadow Pokemon. They are like early game Shadow Pokemon trainers. Ugh. How about you, kid? I swear, if it was just that one girl, and I've been floundering around with how to end a video, specifically because I assume that there would be more than one character in here that we get a Shadow Pokemon from. Introducing Mirror B, the red and white trainer who wanders the land. Wait, time out. I was gonna say, how do you know about Mirror B, but the joke is that she's making him up completely. Like, why would a person in all white and red already exist in the universe? Surely something that ridiculous must be my own OC. Server deals. Wait. What's this suspicious sailor all the way at the edge of the ocean? Are you fightable? Hey dude. What do you mean you lost the battle? We haven't fought in forever and a half. Alright. I kinda cave and scrolled, did some googling. You're apparently a fightable trainer? Right, you are. So I don't think I really even lined up with the PDA, but here it is. The penultimate Shadow Pokemon in all of Pokémon XG. Next Gen. Your mileage will vary of if this is the most awesome thing ever, or the most anticlimactic way to end off our adventures. Shadow Dunsparce! I was gonna say, does it work with Evilite? Because I know this game Pokemon like Mystery Vis do, but no, I think like this mod was made before Gen 9 was the generation for Scarlet and Violet. So yeah, like, it wouldn't have been implemented with an Evilite yet. I don't think. I'd have to look it up and double check. And I'll be honest with y'all, I don't know if I really care that much. Well, that's fine. I wasn't going to do anything to get this turn anyways. Mostly just like setting up to actually make... I kind of wondered now, depending on what I plan on doing next, I wonder if this was really the best way to go. Setting up a nasty plot and all. Like, maybe I shouldn't be losing my special attack to the moon and back. I was gonna say, that's a new one. But I think we have seen it once. I think that was like a shadow variant of Tri-Attack. I was gonna say, wow, that's some pathetic damage. But then I remembered that this is Dunsparce, and it's been so long since I've actually seen a Dunsparce in the late game that I kind of forgot that, as cool as Dunsparce is, like, is not really known for being an offensive powerhouse. It's more the defensive side, if I recall, though we may be pushing that. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling we were pushing that. But you know what? I just... What? You know? The gears in my brain are turning. I think there's a glitch. Or some sort of programming oversight in this game, and they mixed up the stats for Farfetch and Dunsparce, specifically in battle. I don't know how one physically achieves that. I have no idea how something like that could possibly ever happen. But it's the only thing that lines up and makes sense at this very second. Why even waste my breath? I'll see y'all when I clear my way for this battle, and we'll try getting that Dunsparce again. Alright, round 2. Now that I know how this works, I'm much more prepared for what's coming up ahead. Unfortunately, it seems like we gotta fight our way to the Dunsparce this time. It's like they know them leading specifically with Pokemon to catch it, and they hide the Shadow Pokemon in the back. I guess Funland can hang back a bit until I can figure out what to do with you. God, it sucks that... What do I do about Little Queen? I guess if I had my normal team, Ellie would be the best answer, but right here, like, I could send in Swimmer's Bee, but what if they go for a poison move? Because, you know, they're part poison. Speaking of which, where is my anti-fairy option? I know I had them in the past. Did I get rid of cross poison? I mean, probably. And it was a TM, so it's not like I can't teach it back, but it's a little late right this particular second. So I guess while we're working our way back to the Shadow Pokemon, I can talk more about my day. Which again, is a little hard to do considering how all over the place it was. But at least the walk was nice, I guess. In Pokemon Go, they recently did an event. I say recently like it's in the past, but it is technically still ongoing. But yeah, they recently released that Pokemon Abilene into Pokemon Go, and they're kind of building off the April Fool's gimmick, where Pokeballs appeared all over the place and sometimes turned into Pokemon. But for this event, they specifically made a new branch of the gimmick, where apples randomly appear all over the place. And in exchange, sometimes when you click on an apple, Applin appears. I'm kind of mixed to it, because the apples aren't just pointless, like, you need apples to evolve Applin now, and they're kind of rare, and just like another thing on top of all the shenanigans we have to do as is to get the resources needed to evolve Pokemon. I don't know, like Pokemon... I don't know if I want to get into it because it sounds like a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, but I'm thinking that the micro... For those of you who don't know, over the past couple of months, Niantic decided that they were done with Pokemon Go and a lot of their other IP games, and just sold it off to Scopely. If you know who Scopely is, then you know, and I'll leave it at that. You know, what I will say though, I feel like Pokemon Go has been a bit more microtransaction-y ever since the Scopely bought them, which would be crazy because I assumed that there would be at least a little bit of time frame between when the exchange happened to when they actually implement their own changes to make the game to their ideals. I assume, like, with corporate mumble jumble, that it would take a little bit of time for all that to happen, but pretty much instantaneously after the news broke of the buyout, I already see this weird but feature that they added to the shop where if you spend money in the game, you get points to earn pointless trinkets in Pokemon Go. Sorry if I sound like an old man right there. My voice kind of... I tried to say too much in one breath, and it kind of made me sound like a... old man I am. Yell at clouds I am, because that's apparently what you do when you get old, or what as. You know, this guy is kind of like... I noticed that this guy is clean sweeping for my team a lot better than the last time I fought him. I stopped recording to save on space, but I swear, like, I set up Nasty Plot with Houndoom and pretty much swept the entire team ever since with everything said and done. And who knows, maybe I'll do it again. Or maybe I'll get my butt handed to me before I can set up the Nasty Plots prior. What was I talking about? Well, yeah, my tinfoil hat theory that Scopely is already taking over Pokemon Go with microtransaction policies. There's that shop thing. It's hard to say because there's already been... Honestly, Pokemon Go has already been going down a bit of a microtransaction heck hole. It's just easy for me to ignore because I just don't buy the tickets to the event. But it's hard to deny just how much more frequent the events are. It's kind of stupid how many paid tickets they try to throw at you these days. It feels like every event in Pokemon Go has a paid ticket version, even if you don't need it. Which is saying a lot because there's always an event going on in Pokemon Go to some degree. So that's basically the equivalent of saying there's always like $2 tickets or whatever to spend if you want to burn your money in this game. Wait, didn't I try to use Spore in the Blissey? Why didn't the Blissey go to sleep? Spore is a 100% accurate move. This is what happens when I focus too hard on trying to actually come up with commentary rather than pay attention to what the heck is going on in the game that I'm currently playing. Instead of trying again, I'm just gonna get rid of the Blissey ASAP. Because the point being, wait, Blissey's not part fairy. So I guess I'm not as stressed to get rid of this Blissey before it just completely decimates my Spore user. But I do know Blissey can learn Dazzling Gleam. Like, I've played enough Pokemon Go to know that's the thing that Blissey can do. So, even if it's not the same type of attack bonus, it's still something that sits in the back of my mind. Alright. Didn't I take care of you already, Azumarill? The problem is, that's the thing I want. That's the thing that we've been trying to save our Pokemon for. Because my first thought is the Wood Hammer to get rid of it before it can become an issue, but if I do that, I might make myself faint into recoil. You know, this is going to be resisted, but it's also going to be a heck ton of damage. So I'm going to go. I'm boosted. I'm going to go for it. It might not do a lot because it's resisted, but maybe I'll at least get the flinch. I mean, that's like over half. That's more than plenty for me, especially if I can get the flinch. But the thing I wanted to do, get the Sunspire to sleep, use False Swipe on it, because if my theory's correct, and this has the Farfetch's stats... Oh, come on. You know, you think I would have remembered that from the last time it happened? Well, at least I don't have to worry about this doing literally anything to me. Okay, you know, that's not as bad as it seems. Because we have a workaround for that. Problem is I don't know if Swiper will survive long enough to actually get the False Swipe, but we can worry about that after we get rid of the other Pokemon. Overheat. Azumarill, you'll be resisted, but... Oh, come on! The whole thing is that Fire-type moves break you out of freeze. I know if that was Flamethrower, that would have done the trick. Yeah, I kinda had a feeling that that would have been perfect. Because I think what happened was that they mixed up the stats for the Shadow Farfetch with the stats for the Dunsparce, which is... Again, no clue how that happens. I'm just pretty sure that is what happened. Who's bulky enough to, like, survive enough hits for me to get everyone out here? Oh, I thought we were running a Gen 4 logic, and we wait until the end of the turn to send you out. But that's fine. As we established, only one of these Pokemon can actually do damage. Dude's definitely getting all of his mileage worth out of that Ascension Grace. So, you know, if my theory's correct, then where is it? This Nest Ball should work on the Dunsparce despite it being at level 60. With how much Farfetch was struggling with the Nest Ball, it's worth the shot. The stakes might be a little high to be experimenting, but I think this is an experiment with a high enough probability to take the risk. We're at 3. What do you know? So, we're down to 1v1, but at least I don't even know if it's worth wasting any of my healing items. Yeah, I'm a little concerned about being paralyzed, but I only got hit one play rough, and I think we're good. What level is his Asumaro at again? Lower than mine. That's what matters the most. Okay, so with that, there should be only one more Shadow Pokemon left in this entire game. And depending on how well I did with censoring, you may or may not already know what that is. Just a big question of how instantaneous it'll be. First thing I should do is go heal. Like, how do you mix up the stats of of 2 different Pokemon, but only before you snag them? There's apparently a lot more to the Shadow Pokemon games that I have yet to understand. Yep, you have Serene Grace, which makes sense because I was getting a secondary effect pretty much every single turn. Alright. I have a confession. There's a secret I've been holding back from you all for a long time now. I already know what the last Shadow Pokemon of Pokémon XG Next Gen is. And it's not just because the Shadow Monitor spoils it. Long ago, back before the post-game was even a twinkle in the eye, I have been checking up on this dude every now and then to see my Shadow Pokemon progress. And you know how he has a special line of dialogue in the original Pokémon XD when you catch every single Shadow Pokemon in the game? Well, let's just say that I somehow bugged the game to get that early. How many Shadow Pokemon you snake? Oh, you snake Shadow Ho? Oh, you snake the Ho-Ho, which we believe is the last Shadow Pokemon. That means you rescue all Shadow Pokemon that Cypher has created. Yeah, that's how I got spoiled on the existence of Shadow Ho-Ho. Cause I was talking with the creator of the mod, cause I brought it up on their Discord. Apparently that line of dialogue is not set based on 100% completion. It's set on a number. The number of Shadow Pokemon there are in the original Pokemon game. So since XG adds a heck of a ton more Shadow Pokemon, you reach that maximum a lot earlier than the vanilla XD. So yeah, just imagine my shock when I was just casually talking to this dude. And like, before we even got to Citydark Isles. And he just casually drops the fact that Ho-Ho is the last Shadow Pokemon in the game. I was debating for a long time if I should spoil you all as well. But since we're just about to meet the last Shadow Pokemon anyways, I figure this is the best compromise between being upfront with you all, while still having the element of surprise of if you were like playing along. So yeah, let's go get Shadow Ho-Ho. I feel inclined to do an outro just in case. Thank you all for tuning in for this edition of Pokemon XG Next Gen. Next time, the last Shadow Pokemon. I say like I don't already know. Until then though, take care.